Hello there and then welcome to a brand new video. In this video, we are looking at question 6A of BECE 2024. And as you can see, it is copy and complete the table for the relation F equals 9 over 5 times C plus 32, where F and then C are degree Fahrenheit and degree Celsius respectively. So this is the table. Now if you're able to copy and complete the table, you then come and then work on your graph. You see, so for now, let's do what it says we should do first. Let's copy and complete this table, and then we'll go to the graph so that we see how we go about it. So this here is our copied table. Now let's complete it. So we are saying that every Fahrenheit is equal to what? 9 over 5 of the degree Celsius plus 32. So we say if, you see, we are picking the point one after the other. 0 has already been worked for us, so we go to 5. So if degree Celsius is equal to 5, then our degree Fahrenheit would then be equal to 9 over 5 times Celsius, which is 5, and then plus 32. This see. And in that case, we know this 5 here cancels out this 5. And then we'll be left with what? 9. So we have 9 plus this over here, you see, which then gives us a 41. So it's equal to 41. So we come here and you write your 41 over here, you see. So this is what you do for all the numbers, you see. That is those that have not been done already. So on that note, let's look at what we are going to do for 10. We are writing the same thing. This time around, I'll just change these here, you see. And then for 10, we said if degree Celsius is equal to 10, then we'll have 9 over 5 times your 10. And simplifying further, we know 5 divides itself once into 10 twice, where we are going to get 9 times 2. And 9 times 2 would then give us an 18 plus a 32. You see, and the 18 plus the 32 gives us a 50. So we come and then write 50 under the 10, you see. Then we come to what 15. So at this point, you can pause and then try out the remaining. Okay. So if you're able to try the remaining out, then 15 would then give you a 59. 25 is expected to give you a 71. And then 30 should give you an 86. You see. So this is you copying and completing the table. Now, the second part is using a scale of 2 centimeters to 10 units on the vertical axis and 2 centimeters to 5 units on the horizontal. We have to draw a linear graph for the relation. So let's go to our graph and then see how we are going to do that. This is how my graph is going to be, as you see over here, right? So it says, back to the question, it says, that is, the question is here. Okay. So it says, using a scale of 2 centimeters to 10 units on the vertical axis. The vertical is where we are going to have our what? Fahrenheit. You see, the Fahrenheit. And then 5 units, 2 centimeters to 5 units on the horizontal. And that is where we are going to get our degree Celsius. You see. So let's come here. And as you can see, that is what I have done over here. You see. So we have our Fahrenheit on a vertical of a scale of 2 centimeters is to 10. And then for the degree Celsius, every 2 centimeters is to 5. And we have that over here. So let's plot out our point. The first one was 0, 32. 0, 32. So we come and then locate the point, and then you put a point, or you demarcate it. So this is it over here. You see, that is it over here. And then the next one was 541. 541. So on the degree Celsius, you have what? 5. And then on the Fahrenheit, we have a 41. This is where the 41 is. So you look at where they both intersect, and then that is going to be this over here. So you put a point over there. These are 541. On this line is 40. So if you have your graph where you have these small demarcations, you just count two of it and then one of it, and that'll be your 41. The next one is 10, 50. So we have 10, then it goes all the way to 50. You see, so we get that here as well. And then we have 15, 59. So 15 then goes up to 59. That is this over here. Now, as you proceed, if you realize that whatever you are doing isn't going to give you a straight line, then that should tell you that what you are doing is wrong. You see, because it's a linear graph. And for linear graph, we always expect straight line. So as you can see, the point I'm putting in is gradually forming a straight line. Next one was 2068. So we have on our Celsius, we have about 20, and then we go up to what 68. So 2068. That is this over here. So for the next one, we have what 2577. So 25, then we move up to 77, and that is what we have here. So you do your demarcation. So 2577, I have that here. Okay. Then the last one is 30 what 86. So on our 30, we move up to where it touches what 86, and that is going to be here. Now, if you finish all this point, if you finish plotting all this point, what you do is you draw a straight line through it. You draw a straight line through it. And how do you draw the straight line? You take your ruler, then you place it such that it aligns all these lines, all these points. Then starting from this initial point, you draw your straight line. So I am just using this tool here to draw my straight line. And as you can see, it passes through all the points, you see. And with that, you are done with the graph aspect. You are done with the first aspect, which is the graph. Now let's look at what the next question says. It says use the graph to find the temperature in degrees Celsius when the temperature in degree Fahrenheit is 55. So we want the degrees Celsius if Fahrenheit is 55. So on the graph, what you do is you go and then look for where you have what the 55. So where do we have our 55 on our graph? This is 50, so 55 is around here, you see. Then you use dotted lines to trace out so that it meets your line. So as you see over here, I've used these lines to do that. Let me make that a little bit deeper. So that is 55. We then connect it to this line. Then from 55, we now trace downwards, you see, to get the point over here. You get that? So as you have located this point, per your unit over here, you now look for what this point corresponds to, you see. So I know my scale here is 5 centimeters or 2 centimeters to 5 units. So if that is the case, and then I have my 10 over here, then it simply means this side here is going to be 15, as we see. Then the middle is then going to be a 12.5. You see, 12.5, because that is what is in between 10 and then 15. So if that is 12.5, then this here would be a little above 12.5. You see, so if you are using an accurate graph book, you should be able to get that to be 12.7. You see, 12.7. So we come here and say this point over here is actually 12.7. You can confirm that with your graph book. Okay, so this point here is our 12.7, and then that is it. Hence we go to the question and say from graph, you see. So in answering this question, you say from graph, if degree Fahrenheit is what 55, then degrees Celsius is actually what 12.7. 12 point what? 7. And that is it. Now interpret your slope, interpret the slope of the relation. Look at what is happening here. Now you realize that the slope is such that if the degree Fahrenheit is increasing, that of Celsius is also increasing. You see, and we need to calculate for the slope. So to calculate for the slope, we all know the formula to calculate for slope. So the slope, which is also known as the gradient, is given by the formula y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. You see, so we have to take our own set of points. For simplicity's sake, we are going to use this point over here. That is 10, 50, and then this one, which is 0, 32. If you take any of them, it should work. You see. Now, if we are using this, then this here is going to be our x1, y1, and then x2, y2. You see. So, or yes, so substituting, we are then going to have what? Y2. That is 32 minus 50. You see that? All over 0 minus what? 10. This is going to give you a negative. So negative 18 all over negative 10. You see? Then we can cancel out the negatives so that we have what? 18 over 10. 18 over 10 then gives us what? A 1.8. Now this slope here actually means that the rate of change of this, the Fahrenheit, due to the change in degrees Celsius is actually 1.8. You get it? So you know this one here was from the Fahrenheit. You see, this was from the Fahrenheit, whilst that of the denominator was the degree Celsius. So what it means is the rate of change of the Fahrenheit due to change in what? Celsius, degree Celsius is 1.8. Or in other words, if the degree Celsius changes by 1 unit, you see, if the degree Celsius changes by 1 unit, then the degree Fahrenheit would also change by a unit of 1.8. You see, 1.8. Or you can also say that if the degree Celsius changes by 1%, then degree Fahrenheit would also change by 1.8%. Now, this is a little bit into details, right? But if you look at my playlist on graphs, you would understand all these into details. These are technical terms that I don't think just one question would help you comprehensively get it all. You get it? So you can visit the playlist on graphs and then you'd be fine. But then basically, this was question 6A of 2024 BECE. Now, in view of that, here are some questions you can try just to test your understanding. So there are just two of them, 6A and then 6B. It just follows the same principle of the one we just solved. So I do hope this playlist has been helpful in explaining the 2024 BECE questions. If there's any issue of concern, you can always let me know at the comment section and I would address that for you. See you in any future, playlist where I look at other exam questions. But if you have any other questions, you can always let me know at the comment section, then I'll do that for you. Stay blessed and then bye for now.